Hello there and welcome to the 9th video in a tutorial series on how to make an endless runner game in Unity 6 for mobile devices. In this tutorial we'll be adding some obstacle blocks and we'll be dealing with collisions. Remember to subscribe and click the notification bell to stay up to date with every tutorial I upload. Feel free to leave a comment and drop a like. So the idea of what we're going to do is we'll eventually have some trains on this track which we will run into and collide with. But fundamentally we need to get those objects in place and have some placeholders of which we can kind of run into and stop the run. And there are a couple of things that we need to do at the same time. We need to turn off some things and we need to turn on some things. So let's go through this line by line whenever we do the coding. But for now, let's just get a block into place that will act as our first collision point. Let's go to Game Object. Let's go to 3D Object and let's go to Cube. Let's call this Collision Block. And double click to zoom in and let's set it as 0, 0, 0 on the position. Let's select the move tool up here, double click once again, and we're here where we need to be. So let's drag this out of the floor. Let's drag it along here, just further down the track, so we've got somewhere to run into. And what we'll do is tick is trigger. Now, what we'll be doing is very similar to how we did the coins. So we'll be using fundamentally the same thing, i.e. running into it, colliding with it, and we activate on trigger enter. However, we're going to be doing different things with it rather than adding a coin, obviously. So the next thing we need to do is head to our player and head to the animator component. And we need to... hang on, if we get the right one, we need to actually get the player, don't we? So on here, where we have our running character and on animator, we have to remember falling back death. So it's important that we remember this animation name, simply because we will be having to play this animation whenever we collide with something. But to make it actually look a bit more normal, what I might do is increase the size of the collision block on the Y, make it 2, just so as it doesn't look a bit silly. Let's pull it out the ground, so 1.5, there we go. So we'll collide into this block right here. So once we have everything set up, we have the collision in there, we know the name of the animation, we now need to create a script which will act as the collision. So let's right click, create a new script. We'll call this one Collision Reset. And let's open that up in Visual Studio. So this entire script is going to have to do a number of things. The first thing is it's going to need to stop the camera moving. So obviously the camera is going to need to be a variable. So let's add that as our first variable. So serialize field, game object, and we'll have the camera. So what's going to happen after the camera stops? Well, the player also has to stop moving as well. So serialize field, game object, and we'll have player cube. So what that means is that we'll need to access that player cube and turn off the ability to actually move the player. Next thing, we need to play an animation to make the character stop and stumble backwards. So serialize field, game object, and this will be, we'll have it as char, short for character, anim, short for animation. Next thing is we're going to have a sound effect that when we run into something, it goes thud and then stops. So we'll have serialize field once again, and it will be an audio source this time. So audio source. And we'll have this as crash fx semicolon. Let's get rid of the annotations because we do not need them. We also don't need void start and void update, so let's get rid of those. So let's declare the method for when we collide with this object. So void on trigger enter, and it doesn't need to be private, so you can remove that. And now what we need to do is we need to essentially stop the camera from moving. So let's head back into Unity. Let's go to the camera, and let's remind ourselves what we need to stop. So we need to stop cam follow. So that component, which is the script, needs to be stopped. So let's say the camera dot get component, and in spiky brackets cam follow parentheses dot enabled equals false. So that will fundamentally stop the camera from following us, or rather continuing its movement, I should say. Next thing, we need to turn off the player movement script so we can do the same thing again. So it's going to be player cube dot get component, and in spiky brackets the name of the component. So let's remind ourselves again. Let's go to player, scroll down, and it is player move. So we need to turn that script off. So player move, and then close spiky bracket parentheses dot enabled equals false. What do we need to do next? Well, let's play the character animation. So we can say char anim dot get component, and in spiky brackets animator parentheses dot play, and then in brackets and quotes, I just realized I put char anime there. That's weird. The name of the animation, which I've forgotten already. So let me show you a cool way to actually put in this particular name of it without remembering what the name is. So if you go to Unity, let's go to our player folder, which I've lost. There it is. And right here, that's the animation we need to play. We know it's attached to the player, but if we press F2 to rename, we can actually copy that name of the animation, head back into Visual Studio, and paste it there. That way we know we're not going to get any spelling errors. Semicolon at the end. Next thing to do is let's play that crash sound. So crash fx dot play parentheses semicolon and save. You can think of this in a way at the moment as something that's just fundamentally happening, but there does need to be a sequence to this event a little later on, because there is going to be a point where we have to reset everything. But as I mentioned, that will come a little later on. For now, we just need the ability to be able to stop the run from happening. So let's head back into Unity, if it'll let me. There we go. And we now need to attach that script to this obstacle right here. So collision block right there. Let's go to scripts and let's add that to there. Now we need to declare the variables. Over here, we have to declare the camera. So let's drag and drop main camera onto there. Next, the player cube right there. And then the character animation, which is that one there. And then the crash sound effect we'll need to import. So let's go to audio, let's go to effects, and I'll drag and drop another audio sound. And as always, if you head to the pinned comment, you can go and download this completely free. And obviously we've got to do the same as what we did with the coin and the whoosh. So let's take whoosh, hold control, press D, and let's drag and drop collision onto it, and let's rename it to collision. Play around with the volume and the pitch if you want to. So let's have this as 1.1, I guess, and we'll see how that sounds. Make sure play on awake is unticked and loop is also unticked. So now let's head back to our collision block and add that crash effects onto there. So all variables are in place. Everything should work, but always be prepared for the worst, I guess. You just have to make sure that we are ticked is trigger on there as well, otherwise this will not work. So let's have our character run, collect some coins, and then run into this collision block. Let's see, here we go. So far so good. Let's see if this will work. There we go. Awesome. So that effectively means that our run is over. We've stopped everything worked as intended. So you could fundamentally think that this could be anything. This could be a rock in the way. I mean, if you wanted to, you could. If we go to, let's say, some props or something, and there's something on the line of the railway. I'm not quite sure what any of these really are. I mean, I just want to do this out of, not necessity, but you get the idea. Let's have a look at prefabs. What can we put here? Is there anything? Let's just have this as a big rock. So let's drag and drop this rock into collision block right there. And then position 0, 0, 0. And let's decrease the size of this rock quite considerably because obviously it's too big. Let's have it as 0.3 by 0.3. And you can see that, yep, that looks okay. So now, if we go to collision block, turn off mesh renderer and press play, it might look a bit more normalized, I guess. Is that the right way to put it? But we should see how this works now. So let's just stay straight in that left-hand lane and see if we can run straight into that rock. Cool. Awesome. So that's how you can use this collision block to be anything you want. One cool way that we're going to kind of work with this a little later on is how you can then fade out and restart the level. So that is what we're going to do in the next tutorial. We are going to create a way to restart this level over and over if you crash, and we'll do some fading as well. So remember to subscribe and click the notification bell to stay up to date with every tutorial still to come in this series, and I'll see you next time.